Do you want to check on the stream? Hello, Peter. I'm wearing the funny sunglasses right now. Hello,
Oh, I
YouTube.
can't see it, can I? Let's see.
Yeah, you
Wait, are
can.
we doing it on YouTube?
No, no, no. I'm just going to upload it to YouTube after,
Oh,
because I
look.
have that capability.
Right as you did the
Yeah,
thing, right as you went live, there was a JXE tweet. How do you feel?
that's pretty epic. I like JXE. All right, now I'm going to. If you're watching this on YouTube, then we are going to go through a
The
lot of the
fuck,
arguments
dude?
brought up by HiTop's films in a lot of his videos about MCU Spider-Man. I disagree with a ton of them, so we're going to discuss them. I also have these, and I'm wearing them because they make me feel like I'm Alfred Molina in the Good movie.
D's?
D's.
That's crazy.
All right. Could you Sir Andrew on Discord? I've got to share the link to the stream.
I can't see. Andrew didn't send me a message.
It's on Instagram.
Oh. Damn it, I don't get notifications for those either.
Oh no. Alright, let's see.
Yes.
I'm putting my thing here. And now I'm going to copy the link.
Wait. Other people can join, because I was just joined and I was able to talk.
Oh,
Can we
yeah,
go to-
I edited it so the VIP and mods can do it, but not everyone can.
Okay,
It's a locked channel.
Yeah, but with Andrew, I know he can't. So can't we just go to a private one? Then we don't have to worry about any of that.
I don't think we're gonna need to worry about it anyway, because I think Austin wanted to talk about it, surprisingly.
Austin wants to talk about Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. Alright, I copied the link, and I'm gonna copy and paste it in my Discord now.
I have a theory that Spider-Man is a menace.
Spider-Man is a menace. Can you? How is my audio and stuff
I
sounding?
still can't find it. I cannot find your stream, and I don't know how.
It's literally on Twitch. Also, hey Andrew.
Twitch.com/Mr. English.
Oh, he just plugged the channel on.
That's
the
true.
channel.
Twitch.tv actually. I'm gonna send you the link to the watch together, Andrew.
Okay, sick.
.tv. That's
Alright.
Mick's channel that I'm looking at right now.
Alright, let's see.
Oh, sick.
Alright, guys, the link to the watch together is. Yeah, now, don't think I'm gonna be doing that.
Yeah, you should just post
Yeah.
it in the Twitch
I'm
chat.
just
It would
going
be
to
pretty
read
funny
out
if I
the
did that. Yeah.
The letters
Yeah.
are 1 WA.
Q C H.
There's no viewers.
3, 4.
Oh, there's 3.
What's up,
viewers.
Vespi?
Oh,
What's up,
that's
Vespi?
Spider-Man.
All right, 1 second. I'm adding everyone in my Discord.
Oh fuck! I'm trying. I was watching the stream, but then I got an ad of a dude playing basketball.
Why
Oh,
do I
no.
have- Why do I have?
No, it's fine.
8.4?
I'll watch it.
I have so
Alright.
many
Support
sex
you.
symbols.
I love advertisements. All right, we got 3 viewers. Hey, Vespi. Hey, how's it going? We're gonna be discussing the funny Spider-Man. Hello, penis. You know that funny bit.
Oh my god.
It's
Hello,
been
penis.
it's been a minute. It's been a
Wait, do you
minute,
have
so
flip-up
they're not
glasses?
gonna demonetize. Yes, yeah, I have these. These are sick. Vespi, what's your take on these
Yeah,
glasses?
Yeah, we need
Yeah.
to answer
Yeah,
from everyone
yeah,
who joins the
yeah,
chat
yeah.
immediately. We'll just
Yeah.
stop
I
the
have no
discussion
idea.
and be like,
Watching you.
Andrew, have you found the watch together link?
yes, I'm in it.
Alright,
I am
alright,
user
alright.
Defoe.
User
Oh
Defoe.
my god.
All right, so
Yeah.
it's been about 4 minutes now.
Wait. Have you made yourself user Defoe, or is that just a very weird coincidence?
No, it's
No, it's
he did it.
Change your nickname.
Yeah, you can change your nickname. That's
I
why
know,
I'm Mr.
I
Intercourse.
know you can. I haven't done that, but I didn't know. I hope that was a coincidence. That would have been funnier.
That would have been pretty funny. All right, let's see.
That actually would have been quite humorous.
I've done some redecoration around the room. 1 second. Let me show this. I had to like clean my room frantically before starting the stream.
I can see that Boba Fett spaceship in there.
Yeah. I put the
Yeah.
box up to hide the garbage.
I can see a police box pillow. Why is there Mountain Dew on the bed?
That's not Mountain Dew. That's a Sprite. Those are my Sprite cranberry bottles. True fans of my channel would know that. I've had those on there for most streams.
Can't read. Oh my god. Nero, I have
Norman's
work
on
to do.
sabbatical, honey.
I
That's
can't.
bad.
I have
Those are
to yell
badass
about spiders.
glasses.
Thank you. I love them. All right, now I'm gonna go back to the browser, and should we get started? Hey Shane, welcome.
Oh yeah, this is going to be No Way Home spoilers. So
Yeah,
anyone
it
who-
says that in the
Isn't
title.
he
What's up?
released a No Way Home video?
Yeah, he released one. So, HiTop Films has
Okay, I haven't
released
seen that one, so
multiple
sick.
videos on MCU Spider-Man. These include Spider-Man Homecoming, Spider-Man Far From Home, and Spider-Man
Oh
No
crap!
Way
I have
Home.
to turn down my volume on my thingy.
Okay.
Oh, wait, how should I do this?
I don't know. I'm introducing the thing here. Be quiet, Fletcher. So, my goal of this video is not to insult him. I know he's gotten some hate from these videos. My goal is more to point out some flaws in his arguments, because I think there's some, like, very wrong things that he just kind of says, and then people just kind of accept with no reason. And then they use these videos to just sort of, like, attack MCU Spider-Man fans, which I don't think is fair, because I love MCU Spider-Man. He's my favorite, and I like him a lot. I still like the Tobey Maguire movies, and I sometimes like some of Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. But I think
don't like those
MCU
movies, but I like Andrew Garfield.
MCU Spider-Man is my favorite, and when people use these videos online to like say that people who like MCU Spider-Man aren't real Spider-Man fans, it's just sort of like it's really irritating because like I love this character and I think there's really good stuff in these movies, but like whatever. So I'm just gonna go. We are going to go through some of these arguments on here and point out why they are wrong. Oh no, Vespi likes TASM too.
I was gonna
Traitor.
say that I think it's also a bad.
Yeah,
It's also a bad sign when people on the internet will usually link these sort of videos instead of providing their own argument. So then it's
Absolutely.
like, what are you doing? Like, granted, even if you agree with what they say and they may be, you might be aping some of their opinions, you still got to speak for yourself on those cases. Like,
Mhm.
just don't send a link. I'm not gonna watch it. Just TLDR me, dude.
Also, like I don't know. I think
I'm here to insult HiTop
these
Fest.
videos were made at a time where it was like considered like against the grain to make a video debunking, well, like criticizing MCU Spider-Man. But now in more recent context, like videos like these have caused it so that MCU Spider-Man fans have been like in the minority, I guess, or like highly hated across the internet. You know,
Yeah.
TASM
It
two.
just sparked like
Yeah.
sparked like a lot more like civil discourse or
Right.
whatever. Not civil discourse,
Like-
but just like film discourse that is stupid, where people on both sides, like the extremes, will just be attacking
Mhm.
each other and be like, Toby, no! And people will be like, Tom Holland, babyface, and then they'll just be back and forth because they're like they can't argue. And then Andrew Garfield fans are just kind of left in their own corner because like
Mhm.
he's not the focus right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
like
Vespi,
Andrew.
I will say that when I first watched TASM 2 on my computer, I watched it and I had such an awful taste in my mouth that I had to watch Spider-Verse again just to feel something, to remember movies can be good. And that's like my favorite movie of all time.
Figure out his computer.
So like if you are able to derive enjoyment from TASM 2, I have so much respect for you. Good job.
Why didn't Peter just give Harry his blood? I don't think they
That's
ever explained
true.
why
That's
he
true.
couldn't.
Because
He just doesn't.
it could kill him.
Spider-Man.
Okay.
It's like,
We should
weird
stop.
ass.
Viewers, is the
Okay.
audio balance all right? It's my birthday, now it's time
Yeah.
to light my candle. Is the audio balance all right?
I'm
And
gonna out
the visuals
alienate
cool?
Vespi accidentally by hating this movie, so let's stop.
I imagine
Yeah.
I'm very quiet, but oh well.
yeah.
I'm a gentle voice.
All right. We're gonna start this video, and you're gonna tell me if the sound's all right. Okay? Just a little sound test. How does this sound on the
Spider-Man
stream?
Homecoming is not a good Spider-Man movie.
Oh shit,
Now,
I'm on the
before you
wrong
start
one.
All right. How does that sound? Is that fine on there? Is that all right? Is that working okay?
How is it fine, my fellow gamers and Twitch.com?
Does that sound all right? 5 viewers on twitch.tv/Mr. Intercourse. All right. Let's see. I'm guessing there's so much. First, to acknowledge TASM 2's flaws, but it's still your personal favorite. I mean, hey, if you're able to like that, then good job.
Yeah.
Um,
That's good for you.
Audio is fine. Audio is fine. All right. So we're
Cool.
chilling.
Okay.
All right. Here we go.
My enemy.
The first claim of the. Here we go.
Spider-Man Homecoming is not a good Spider-Man movie. Now, before you start smashing your keyboard calling me a hack, chill out, grab a joint or a beer or freaking Benadryl and let me explain. I think
Relatable.
Spider-Man Homecoming is a good movie. It's fun, funny, heartfelt, and contains one of the strongest villains in the entire MCU.
Thank you, Bruno.
The acting is pretty solid from pretty much every lead, especially Tom Holland. Holland perfectly embodies a youthful teenager. The writing is entertaining throughout, and the pacing is pretty perfect. The movie never drags and never moves too fast.
These are
I
all
walked out
true
of the theater
things.
Thoroughly entertained and excited
Yeah,
for what's to come.
it's weird.
But then when I got home, something was off.
Oh no.
One might even say my spidey senses were tingling.
He's Tobey
So I did as
Maguire.
any man does when he is confused. I turned on my favorite flick, Spider-Man 2. Now you're probably saying to yourself,
You, my dear fellow our Raimi fanboy bitch, you are biased.
indeed I am. So take this video as an opinion, not a fact. And yes, video essays can be opinions.
Okay,
I
so
just say a thing.
yeah, fair. All right, you can start it off.
Guys,
I've
yeah.
already got some problems with this, so go ahead.
I have some
I am
issues.
coming here to say that I think, obviously, this is an opinion, but the problem
Yeah.
comes about when people start saying, using the "oh, it's just my opinion" defense when they've said things. They use evidence that is factual, and you can prove that,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it's wrong. Like if you say something, like if I'm going around shouting, "It is just my opinion that 2 + 2 = 8."
Right. That doesn't make it right.
Idiot.
I think one thing that works. I think that's a good analogy for this is if you say that it's just your opinion that a historical event didn't exist, like a commonly known historical event, like if you say the signing of the Declaration of Independence wasn't real, but it's your opinion, so you can't criticize it.
Square.
Tiananmen
Tiananmen
Square, yeah,
Square.
true. That one.
It
If I
doesn't
can
have
then
to
yeah.
point
Like,
at
these-
the Declaration of Independence that is signed,
Mhm.
and you tell me, no, it's just my opinion, I don't have to care about your opinion anymore because it's just wrong.
Yeah,
That's
there is definitely subjective layering, like not layering, subjective like ideas towards film that are fine, and that's what keeps it interesting. I like subjective takes, like one Vespi likes TASM 2. I think that's really cool. But when you're gonna start this off by saying it's your opinion, and then you're going to later on in the video, as you'll see, make some claims that aren't really substantiated, then don't be surprised when there's pushback. But also, like, I don't know. I also wait. I want to rewind this segment
I
a
have
little
a
bit. But you
point
go.
to make real quick.
All right, yeah.
And it's his first claim, and I don't. This is such a dumb thing to say in a lot of like film discourse, in my opinion. It's a good movie, but not a good blank movie.
Oh yeah.
Because I think that's
I've
really
heard that
flawed. Because
many
at its
times,
core,
but I
it should. Because at its core, it is a blank movie. Like this is a Spider-Man film. It's like I guess you can. I don't know. 'Cause I personally disregard that kind of idea that like a movie can be good if you don't disregard the franchise it's in
Mm-hmm.
or anything like
Yeah.
that. That's just silly because you can't just ignore that big part of it. Like you can't ignore that it's a Spider-Man movie about like
fair.
a big franchise character. Unless you just look up and like you don't know what Spider-Man is or whatever. Then like sure, go ahead.
But even
I
then,
think
I
that,
feel like
like,
someone
it's
could
silly.
have just woken up, never seen Spider-Man, watched this movie, and be like, that was a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a good
Yeah.
movie. And then you tell them who Spider-Man is, and they're like, oh, that's not a good Spider-Man movie though. And then
Nah.
you lost
I mean,
them.
I still kind of do. Hey, Shadow Wang. I still kind of see where he is coming from, because like, if you produce like a movie like The Joker, but then label it a Sesame Street film, then it doesn't really fit the
That's
label
true.
of Sesame Street, and I think that's kind of what he's getting at. But I also don't think that that's equivalent to this.
Yeah.
You know.
Let's say
Yeah, what
you
you're
made a
saying is a
Batman
very
with all of the Batman things, you just have Batman Begins, and then you're like, hey, and then you just say, no, it's Spider-Man. It's a bad Spider-Man story, but it's still a good story.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I
I
think those are both very extreme examples, and if that was the
Absolutely,
case,
yeah.
then I would be like, yeah, that's true. But here, it's like it's still a Spider-Man story.
No, that's true.
I still think like what the film's going for in terms of like its themes and whatnot, which we'll probably touch on later,
Mhm.
helps kind of re-emphasize that or emphasize that,
Yeah.
you know. It's all
Um,
If you're
about,
making
and
Batman
it's
Begins
also
a
it's
Spider-Man
also,
movie, I would have just made Tasm.
and the benefit of hindsight with No Way Home too is that we are viewing these films differently too, so that helps a lot
yeah.
with like how this entire arc of his plays out. But
And to be fair, we are reacting to these after the entire trilogy has been made. So let's
Yeah,
we
which means
can
that-
clarify that. But then also, I'm gonna move this back because I think there was some like straw man stuff that I want to like look into a little bit.
I walked out of the
What,
theater
like, he's a
thoroughly
Raimi
entertained and
fanboy or
excited.
whatever?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
contains one of the strongest villains in the entire MCU.
Yeah.
Where
Where
was
was
joint
that?
or a beer or a freaking Benadryl and let me
There we go.
Spider-Man Homecoming is not a good Spider-Man movie. Now before you start smashing your
Crap, I didn't
keyboard calling
actually
me a
look at
hack,
this
chill
part.
out, grab a joint or a beer or a freaking Benadryl and let me explain.
Let's grab
I
the
think
Benadryl,
Spider-Man
guys.
Homecoming is a good movie. It's fun, funny, heartfelt, and contains one of the strongest villains in the entire MCU. The acting is pretty solid from pretty much every lead, especially Tom Holland. Holland perfectly embodies a youthful teenager. The writing is entertaining throughout, and the pacing is pretty perfect. The movie never drags and never moves too fast. I walked out of the theater thoroughly entertained and excited for what's to come. But then when I got home, something was off.
Oh, here's what I was
One might
looking
even
for.
say my spidey senses were tingling.
Not that
So I
bad
did as
joke.
any man does when he is confused. I turned on my favorite flick, Spider-Man 2. Now you're probably saying to yourself,
You my dear fellow our Raimi fanboy bitch, you are biased.
indeed I am.
So that's my bit here. I think
At least he admits
I
he's
think
biased.
recognizing your bias is good for a video. Also, hey James, welcome. But I think one of my problems with this is that he's also like making the arguments himself that people aren't necessarily making. So like when you're making a counterclaim, it should often be like something that like people are actually saying. But this sort of seems like exaggerated to the point where it's like more of a satirical take, right? So it just doesn't feel like a genuine deconstruction of a criticism when you're just sort of making a joke out of it. You know, does that
I
make
feel
sense?
like someone, if we scroll into the comments, we're gonna find somebody who just said, "You're a
Yeah.
Raimi fan, shut up,"
Mhm.
and left.
Like that's a
Yeah.
bad
I
argument. Yeah.
It's not. Yeah, no, that guy's making a bad
Yeah,
argument.
that guy's stupid. Like
I
yeah.
don't think it's that much of a straw man to have somebody to make that joke, and he was just doing it as
Unless-
doing this video to address the idea that, yeah, he is
Yeah.
somewhat biased
Um,
towards it. But I think it's
Unless
fine.
he says something, unless he like said an argument that he thinks most Marvel, MCU Spider-Man fans use when they really don't use it, then
Mhm.
that'll be straw manning, I'd
Yeah.
imagine. But I don't know. I haven't watched I haven't watched these videos in full yet, but so we'll see.
All
I've
right.
seen these first two, but the new one I haven't. So.
Let's continue because we're 18 minutes into the stream and less than a minute into the
Actually,
video.
we're 19 minutes in.
Well-
So take this video as an opinion, not a fact. And yes,
Oh yeah.
video essays can be opinions. How many flippant argument essays have you written in school?
At least
Essays
8.
can be biased, and yes, I am biased. I believe Spider-Man 2 is a cinematic masterclass in character, story, directing, tone, and everything in between. Back to the point.
I think it's
I watched
okay.
Spider-Man 2, then read Spider-Man Blue, and the old Ditko books, and came to the solid
Dude,
conclusion
sounds
that Spider-Man Homecoming is not a great Spider-Man flick.
Oh
let
boy,
alone
here
a
we
good
go.
one.
But he's the only Spider-Man who embodies the youth of a teenager.
Yeah, I know.
He's actually a high schooler, not a 30-year-old.
Yep, gotcha.
He quips like Peter Parker. Toby never quipped.
Well, you're wrong on that one.
That's a cute outfit. Did your husband give it to you?
This joke has not aged well.
Anyways, Spider-Man Homecoming is not a
Yeah.
good Spider-Man movie for 3 big reasons.
All right.
Do that.
Here we go. The big claims are coming up here.
Consequence.
Yeah.
Iron Man, and the
Consequence.
suit.
In this movie, Peter makes a plethora of mistakes.
Yeah.
He indirectly destroys the
Thanks,
sandwich
Doctor.
shop in Queens, and no one dies. Not even.
Okay, here's the big funny. No one dies. That's right. The robbers get away.
That's true.
With
That's
those
still a
dangerous
consequence.
weapons.
Him choosing
No,
to save
no,
them. Him choosing to save them. The consequence of that is that the robbers get away.
Yep.
Yes,
that's-
he-
Also, he loses his shop.
Also, I think
Yeah.
one thing we need to set into context here is like, in these videos, HiTop tends to have this idea that consequences can only be someone dying, and I think the consequences in these movies sure aren't always that. consequences are more high school level. They are more fitted to Peter Parker. There are definitely consequences that he experiences. It's just not as extreme all the time as to someone dying. But that doesn't mean that they're not consequences. Like,
What I like about Homecoming is that due to its small scale and the fact there aren't a lot of like people dying outside of like I guess Shocker, but like
there's
it
one
was
guy
like
who
what's
dies.
how this scene, what this scene is like kind of an example of is like the big Spider-Man dilemma that's always kind of prevalent in media is like the balance between Peter Parker and also the Spider-Man identity. And this is a really good way of showing that without having like Uncle Ben get decapitated or something. So it's like,
yeah.
because you know he
Spider-Man
like
fans when
sacrificed.
the specific old man doesn't
Yeah.
get shot anytime.
Like his person.
Oh, thanks for stopping by, Shadow Wing. Good to see you again. I hope you have a good one.
Take care. But like also like yeah, his personal life gets in the way of him stopping these robbers, and like if he didn't have that personal life, then like yeah, the robbers would have probably been like apprehended and stuff. But
but also like I think this is more of a character moment where it shows that like instead of choosing to take out the robbers, he chose to save the people in there. Like that's establishing character, and that shows like how good of a person Peter Parker is at heart.
It's also good to see a superhero actually saving someone instead of punching someone through like a building and killing like 20 kids.
Oh my goodness,
True.
what do you be talking about? Oh no.
All right, shall we
I wonder
continue?
what I'm talking about.
I wonder.
Yes.
I don't have
Even the
to.
cat. He seemingly doesn't feel guilty that he destroyed this man's livelihood. Everything's fine.
That's I don't agree with that. Like he clearly, when he sees it, he's like instantly like, oh my god, like what have I done?
Oh shit.
I've rewatched this. I've rewatched
like,
Homecoming like 6 times recently, because I watched it in my backyard. Then I watched it in my backyard again on my birthday, in September.
Oh, cool.
Then I watched it again more recently, when I was preparing for No Way Home. So I have these scenes pretty fresh in my head, and it was a big moment when he saw Mr. Delmars explode. So like it wasn't an everything's fine moment. He was he was it was more than that.
And what's even worse too? What's even like worse for him in that situation that he kind of indirectly caused that, because if he didn't meddle in there, I don't think that shop would have blown up.
Absolutely.
So it's also like even that's another consequence of like not only like you balancing your lives, but also you not being ready for this sort of deal. You know?
For sure.
Yeah, but did somebody die horribly with a cut down their...
That's true. That's true. In this scene,
Yeah,
Aunt May didn't get her head cut off by the funny laser, so that means there was no consequence.
That's right.
Yeah, if the dude didn't come out of the shop with like his like body split in half,
his like guts spilling out from the cut, and then
he's like
falls on his cat's corpse, then it would have been a good Spider-Man.
The cat didn't get set on
And then
fire,
Peter
so that
goes
means it's
over
not a
and says,
consequence.
oh god, this will affect the economy. Here I'm poor. Then it would have been a good Spider-Man movie.
I am broke.
There was a notification. What's the notification? Oh, Just Han, thank you for the host. Also, welcome. Yes, I'm streaming again. It's kind of crazy. Who would have thought? All right, shall we continue this video?
See.
All right.
He ditches Ned at Liz's party, and then Ned forgives him the next day. Everything's fine.
Because they are friends.
Ned's not an asshole.
They are friends. Easy.
Yeah, no, Ned's just a guy who definitely understands that Spider-Man isn't. He knows he's Spider-Man. It's just like Peter explains to him, "Oh yeah, I had to stop bad guys," and Ned's because Ned's not a shit person. He doesn't go, "You should have gone to the party and made it not left me here." It's a character building moment for Ned. It makes him seem less
Also, it shows their friendship that this kind of thing wouldn't destroy it. Like,
Yeah.
Also, Toxic has redeemed the Tell Me a Joke, and because we are on the topic, I want to bring up my favorite joke from Spider-Man Homecoming. Well, one of them at least. I mean, one of them is when Hannibal Buress' character is standing on... there's the whole Captain America sequence where he's, like, talking about... the gym class or whatever, and he's like, "Your gym teacher," and he points like to where the gym teacher was supposed to be, but Hannibal Buress' character is standing on the opposite side of the screen. So that's a solid bit. But then my other favorite joke was when Peter and Ned show up to the party and Flash Thompson is doing the Flash Thompson bit. And so as he's doing the Flash Thompson bit, he's like, that's not Spider-Man, that's just Ned in a red shirt. And that's such a funny line to me.
Why is that?
It's so good.
I still think one of my favorite moments that comes to mind is like the entire kind of montage of him just helping around this like the city, and like some dude just asks him to do a flip, or like he tries to stop a car hijacker, but it's just some dude trying to get into his car, and everyone just gives him shit immediately. Like I wish we saw more of that because that was like.
There's
so
a deleted scene of him like still there 2 hours later.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The car jacket, not just like no. Fucking Flash.
That's
when I
funny.
say penis,
You say Parker. Alright, let's continue.
No, but you have to tell a real joke, and also Toxic made
No,
you do a pog.
I did a pog, and that was the joke that I wanted to say.
Oh, I didn't see the pog. Okay.
Yeah, I did it. Right, Toxic?
Can you audibly do a pog?
Oh,
So I can hear it?
That's me doing the funny. Yeah.
I'm pretty
but
sure you
Toxic,
guys are
that
war
wasn't the
criminal
joke.
Now, but the state tells me to show it still.
So true, Shane. Alright, let's continue this video.
He shirks all his responsibilities and then gets detention, ditches detention, and then gets away scot-free.
That conversation is the principal telling him he might get expelled.
Mm-hmm.
He
So-
gets stopped. He also has several other detentions.
Wait, yeah, let's
really
actually
funny.
play this.
Fine.
Yeah, because we gotta make sure
Everything's
we do
fine.
the everything's fine after every single one of them, because that's his argument that everything is okay after everything he
That's
does.
funny.
But like that's not true.
But also,
because
it's not-
he
It's
gets
not fine 'cause
detention.
He loses his business.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true. Man lost his business, but also at the same time,
Later on.
when later on in the movie, after he ditches detention, he gets more detention. Like for the rest of like homecoming week, he has to walk around with hall pass because he has like permanent detention for a while. Like that's what that is a consequence.
Isn't that one of his things he says to Liz when he's talking? I have detention
Yeah.
forever.
Yeah, that's a consequence. It's a high school level consequence, but it's still a
And then Liz is
consequence.
like, oh, you're such a bad boy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's not
And then Laura
considered.
Harrier was like, I sure love Jackson, and I want to marry him. That was
And
a
then
true
I came
thing.
into
I
the
know
room.
Yeah.
That's not canon.
Yeah.
I think that was true, actually. But
Yeah.
anyway, that's just a...
I was actually.
Yeah.
I was
I
gonna
think
play
she said that
Jackson
about
in
True,
the deleted
that's right.
scene where he showed up.
No, but
He
yeah.
ditches
no.
the
Alright.
lives of the decathlon team after leaving them at the competition. They win and all survive. Everything's fine.
No, because
Okay, so first
the
off,
funny alien bomb blew up in an escalator. That is I mean, not escalator, elevator. And it blew up and it put them
Yeah.
all in danger. That's still a consequence,
That
guy.
elevator was built by slaves.
That's true.
Spider-Man destroyed a national monument.
Spider-Man
built by
destroyed some national monument.
Yeah, no, and he
Yeah.
misses the thing, and like no one takes him seriously.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't there a bit where someone says, "What are you always apologizing for? No one cares."
Maybe.
Oh yeah,
I don't remember that. Yeah.
there's something like that.
I think there's something similar to
Also,
that.
you doing that J. Jonah voice just made me remember that line from No Way Home when he says, like, is he gonna destroy another national
Yeah.
monument? And I'm like,
Yeah,
oh yeah,
no,
he
I
destroyed
rewatched it
one.
today.
Tower Bridge.
Every destroys one.
So
Yeah,
based.
funny.
The Tower Bridge. He's got the one with the one that looks like a penis, and
You don't know the name of the Washington Monument? The one that. What's up, Grantimus Prime? Yeah. All right. Let's continue with this video.
He
Yeah.
ditches Liz at homecoming and everything is fine.
That's not true. The relationship is forever tarnished. Like,
yeah, no, and no one takes him
Yeah,
seriously.
Liz.
Yeah, I think it was Liz who
And, like-
says, "What are you apologizing for?" And
Yeah.
it's very clear she doesn't like Peter and won't do a thing with him anymore because, you know, he abandoned
Yeah.
her.
Well, also like it's not like that focused on, but also people pointed out that like she wrote like a hit piece on him, like in No Way
Yeah,
Home. You can
in
see
No
the
Way
restaurant.
Home, there was
I saw that.
the
Like-
newspapers
Yeah.
in the background.
Well, to be fair, he didn't know
for a
that
magazine.
yet, so.
That's true.
That's true. Yeah, they don't focus on it, but yeah.
But also, one of the major consequences that I was thinking about before, was that all of these things that he does, like when he leaves the decathlon team, he sneaks out of there. He leaves the party early. When he becomes Spider-Man at the Washington Monument and saves them. All of these things that he does mean nothing to Liz, but when she says them in the car with her father, Vulture, he is able to put the pieces together that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. So there are absolutely consequences, because all of these things that he does still lead to his big enemy of the movie figuring out who he is.
And also, that doesn't go away from the movie. It goes away technically by No Way Home, but like, there's still a guy out there who might not like you, who knows that you're Spider-Man.
Yeah, and you never know when he's gonna work with Michael Mando as Scorpion to take you down.
Michael Mando.
I hope we get Scorpion. Honestly, I'd be excited for that.
I would like
Vulture's not gonna know who he is anymore, though. I wonder how
that's right.
Vulture's
Man, I would like Craven, but now they're gonna do like a solo movie with him, and now I'd like rather not go see movies anymore.
Fucking Morbius. I saw the trailer for that today when I rewatched No Way Home, and I was like, why is this a movie?
Why do people keep
Venom.
getting Jared Leto?
Just kidding. It's me, Michael Morbius. Haha, funny
Michael
Jared
Morbius.
Leto. All right. That would be funny.
I want Hollywood to stop giving him work.
Yeah.
Like, he's not a good guy.
Yeah.
Doesn't he have a cult?
Something like that.
The film was sometimes aware of its lack of consequences. That's why scenes like this are played up for comedy.
I was hoping maybe I could rejoin the team.
No way. You can't just quit on us, stroll up, and be welcomed back by everyone.
Hey, welcome back, Peter. Flash, you're back to first alternate.
What?
But being self-aware does not excuse.
No, wait. Let's let him finish the
use
point.
The flawed hand. If I take a shit on a Spider-Man toy.
You know what we call that? We call that a web-slinging ass-kicking.
Then flush it down the toilet. Then make a joke about how I clogged the toilet. Haha, very funny, you douchebag. But the truth is, I still clogged the fucking toilet. You see what I'm getting at?
No, I do not. I do not get what you're getting at. I don't understand that. That's such a bad analogy, dude.
There's so many better ways to talk about lampshading.
He's trying to pull like a red letter, like a Mr. Plinkett or like angry video game nerd type joke. Like, and then I pooped in the toilet and it smelled bad. And it's like, what?
It's like, what?
Sorry.
What if I did a stinky? If I did something stinky and potty related, that means that it's a good joke.
Yeah. Well, it's also like treating something like that as like this really big deal, and I don't think it like is.
Also, like it's also
deal.
When Zinch and I were watching this a different time, we talked about how this is like a high school level movie, and it's a high school team. So like, if they're getting one of the smartest kids in the school to have like a better chance at winning the decathlon, of course they're gonna take him back right away.
Yeah, and also I'm wondering, they haven't shown this, and I don't think they ever will. But Peter, when he came back as like the smartest guy, they care a lot about winning. Then when he ditched them, they probably don't care much about Peter anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think anyone cares about him.
Wish we saw more.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that it's it's kind of a, I don't know, I just don't think it's a good argument to say that this is an example of a lack of consequences when the stakes are so low for this kind of a scenario.
Or you see, Flash didn't die horribly.
That's
so
true. Flash didn't get decapitated when he came back to the team. When Flash didn't get hit by the oncoming bus, thanks for the follow, Grantimus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awful.
I don't like this video. Let's continue.
That Liz leaving Midtown is a consequence, but the movie makes it abundantly clear that Peter really only likes her because she's pretty and smart. He doesn't even know her. He knows pretty much nothing about her. She's just his first crush, which works great in keeping the light high schooler tone. But Liz in her relationship to Peter carries almost no emotional weight.
Unlike
I
Mary
personally-
Jane Watson and Peter in the originals in the Raimi trilogy,
It's
which is
also-
perfect. It's a
yeah.
perfect relationship. But
it's a high
sure,
school
that's a
movie.
right.
It matters
It's also
more.
like when people get interested in each other in high school, it's probably because they think they look cool. That's
So,
an odd way of saying
may or
that.
may not be in high school,
But, like,
and may or
also,
may not be boys.
Seeing that someone
Who
is
here has had a
smart.
crush on someone that they know everything about.
That's true. Yeah, I
I
mean,
know I-
typically when you ask someone out on a date, you're not necessarily like knowing everything about them. You want to get to know them better, and you want to see about pursuing a relationship, right? Like, am I wrong with that? Like, that's kind of the point of dating HiTop Films.
Yeah,
You should
let's
try
not
it
be on
sometime.
It's just, yeah, it's
when
really
when
silly
Andrew and I
that,
went
like,
on a date, we definitely learned a lot more about each other.
That's true.
Yep, and then
Why
I left him
high
stuck
top?
at
Why don't you
like,
high talk to some bitches?
No, but it's also silly that, like, I don't like the idea that Spider-Man needs to have, like, a beautiful, tragic love story each
Mhm.
time. Because I'm fine with, like, if he's gonna be in high school, then, like, yeah, like, goof
Mhm.
around and have,
Yeah.
like, a little, like, fling or not with Liz. Like, who cares? Because then
Yes.
also, like, there's the weight at the end of, like, you know, like, with her dad, and then, like, them moving and her not trusting him anymore. It's like, there's consequences to, like, him trying to, like, balance those two things, too. And
Mhm.
there's like some level of like it doesn't have a good ending. The relationship doesn't
Yeah.
like progress. It just ends.
But also,
I don't like the idea that it has to be a
Yeah.
sweeping romantic thing
Mhm.
either. Like the Raimi films can do that because like they're more comic booky and grand in that
Yeah.
aspect. I don't think they should do that for Homecoming.
But
And it
also,
works
like,
more with No Way Home.
the romance in the Raimi films isn't great too.
No,
Like,
Yeah, it sucks.
It's like I don't like the dig that they're trying to make at this film, when in the Raimi movies their idea of like good romance is like Attack of the Clones level dialogue, you know?
oh boy, yeah.
Oh boy, yeah. Oh boy, yeah, what?
That movie's weird.
Alright, let's continue.
Compare the humorous lack of consequences in Homecoming to the humorous abundance of consequences in Spider-Man 2. Everything Peter does in Spidey 2 in the Raimi trilogy, in the Spectacular Spider-Man cartoon, in the 90s Spider-Man show from your
Movies
childhood,
can
and
be
that really dope
different.
MTV show, and in the comics has consequences.
No, they can't.
Question time. What is
All right, let's just take a look at this. Like, when you're putting consequences, I just really don't like this argument because
Here's the thing: every action you do has a consequence.
no
It's
matter
up
what.
to you to determine what level of
Mm-hmm.
if that consequence is considered or not. Like, literally all that you do, down to breathing.
It's also
there's
weird,
a consequence in real life.
It's weird that his
And
whole thing is like he's
He's
mainly
choosing
pointing
to
to
decide that
Spider-Man
all the
2.
consequences are not enough to him, which is just subjective. It's kind of hard to argue against, but it's just like there's clearly consequences. You're just choosing not to care. It's
No,
kind of
yeah,
weird.
there's very obvious consequences in this film, and it feels like he's just ignoring them so that way he can like put the Raimi films above them, above these ones. You
Well,
know?
it's also weird because he just is only comparing. Well, no, he did also bring in the Spider-Man trilogy as a whole, but he's just mainly talking about Spider-Man 2 and like that.
Yeah.
But that like, I don't think that should be like the status quo for Spider-Man like struggles. You know, like I think that's like a good. Like that's a good kind of film to base off of, like if you want to depict Peter going through numerous struggles. But I think for like him starting off, like in Raimi films, like he didn't really start off like that, like you know how he is in Spider-Man 2 with all those consequences and all those like tasks building up and whatever. Because the first one has its good amount of things that are boggling Peter down, just like Homecoming. I think they're both equal in that respect in terms of depicting Peter going through like struggling. I don't think it needs to be like the most weight-crushing, soul-devouring thing, like in
It's
Spider-Man
just
2.
Spider-Man fans
He's making it
can't
like
see
the status
Peter Parker
quo.
happy, or they'll piss their pants or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like a moral. It hurts them to see Peter Parker smile. Every time he smiles, they scream and die inside.
I also like. when he's pointing out the consequences in Spider-Man 2, like, they're also pretty much, a lot of the consequences are to similar level as Homecoming. Like, him getting fired isn't, like, the same, but, like, also when they were showing the consequences, it was mainly just, like, he showed the clip of, like, the party scene where he's just, like, he's comically not able to grab a drink off of the waiter's plates or whatever like that, you know? I don't think that's a good example of a consequence. That's just bad things happening as a bit. Like,
yeah, it's the other way from, like, it's just comical unluckiness, where it's like, this this shouldn't happen to an everyday person. This is just, you're purposely making life worse, and I don't know if that's better.
Yeah. Let's continue.
The relatability of Spider-Man comes from him having to deal with everyday problems, which I think he touches on this video. But, like, when you you just consistently make it so he never catches a break, and he consistently never has anything good happen to him, then it becomes just like a caricature.
Yeah.
Also,
like,
really quick point before we continue, that Spider-Man 2 also portrays a lot of it comedically, like his struggles too. I don't think it's bad to have, like, some of his struggles be played off as like, isn't that so silly that Peter sucks at life? I don't need everything to be like, damn, he's really going through a lot. Like,
isn't it so silly that Peter likes this manipulative, awful woman that ruins the lives of another guy?
All right, we gotta continue. We're 40 minutes into this video. We're 40 minutes into the stream and 3 minutes
into this video.
40 minutes into the 11-minute video.
Fundamental characteristics of Peter Parker. Go down in the comment sections and type it right now. You have like 3 seconds.
No. I'm on watch together. Ratio.
One of the fundamental characteristics of Peter Parker is that he can't catch a break. Everything goes wrong in his life. Even if he makes the right choice, even if he makes the hard choice, his life still sucks.
Isn't that like a concept? Wait, so is that a fundamental of his character, or do fundamentals of his character create that?
I don't think anyone watches these movies to see, like, his life just suck, right?
I don't think that's like core of his character. I don't think so either.
Yeah.
Of his character just commonly create this.
I think the core of his character is try to be good, no matter what, because of what he's learned. Yeah, be good no matter what.
I think he's partially there, and then he fumbles it because he says, like, this shows that you can't catch a break. And, like, that's a big one of the big core components. But, like, I don't agree with the whole his life sucks. It's like his life doesn't suck. It's just like he's making it by. Like,
yeah, his life totally sucks whenever MJ still loves him for some reason after they're toxic to each other for all of the movies.
Man, my life sure does suck when I'm broke, but I can still have some.
It's so weird because it seems like HiTop is incapable of allowing him to learn, because that's what this movie is about. It's about him learning to his core, and of course he doesn't catch a break. Him being away, and like him running away at Homecoming, that's going to affect him for all of his high school life.
Yeah.
Because no one's going to like him other than Ned, who he can explain it to. He has to work hard to get other people to take him seriously. And it's like, that's because he's learning his lesson, and the lesson of Homecoming, obviously, is you shouldn't be a hero for glory. You should be a hero because it's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
And that's the lesson he has to learn in the movie.
True. Let's keep going.
Yeah.
That's what's endearing about Peter Parker. He still chooses to be Spider-Man, even if the consequences of being him outweigh the benefits. Peter Parker is us. His entire purpose as a character was to be relatable to the reader, a dorky, nerdy outcast with a good heart.
I won't make him the handsomest guy in the world or the strongest. I won't make him rich. He'll have money worries. I can relate to that because
I'll let this play out.
I said he won't be that popular. I mean, it's not easy for him to get a girl. He has to worry about getting dates. And I figured that most of the kids or the teenagers or the young adults who read those stories would be able to relate to that, because life isn't easy for anybody, really.
This is great.
All right. I'm gonna I want to go through this. First of all, I want to say rest in peace, Stan Lee. I love that guy. But also, I don't think that you're showing good examples of these things, right? Because he's not rich. he like specifically like his arc in this film is well, first off, we learn in Civil War that he was like dumpster diving for like a computer, right? So there's that. He clearly has money problems in this. When he loses his backpacks constantly. But then there's also like the whole thing that he's going for with it can't be super easy for him to get a girl or whatever. Like, okay, it's not easy. Dumb. Like, he goes through the film and it's like hard and awkward, and he fumbles it in the end. And he also isn't popular, like he said, like HiTops was assuming that he was. Or not assuming, insinuating he wasn't popular because his only friend is Ned. And then MJ kind of later in the film, and then he gets Liz is just interested in him. For like a little bit.
And then
yeah,
I think a big point too is that he's saying that like he's implying that like Peter's rich and has no money issues, when I don't think Tony backs him at all. He's not like, here, I'm gonna just give you like bills or whatever and what like. He has a suit. Well, that's the most high-tech thing he has, and even then,
he also
takes away the thing by the end.
He also still lives in an apartment. Like, he doesn't like live in a funny penthouse with Tony Stark.
I think the idea is mostly that like in the movie, I do believe that he won't ever face like major money problems, because if he did, he probably could call Tony, and Tony's a nice guy, especially to people who have helped him out. And he'd probably help him out and give him some money. So, like, I think that's the problem.
Tony's nice to people when they're not people in the Middle East that he's selling weapons to destroy. But anyway, continue. He doesn't do that anymore. That's his arc in Iron Man. Yeah.
I'm not arguing about this. No, he doesn't do that after the first movie. That's
fair.
His arc in the first one.
I just thought it was funny.
A movie in the future. They're gonna show like flashbacks with DA's Robert Downey Jr. It's like, actually, after Age of Ultron, he went back to doing that. They're gonna make him evil or something.
Oh my goodness.
What if? Oh, and Toxic pointed out that in the comics, like, Spider-Man easily has Black Cat going after him all the time, and he like has. In the comics, doesn't he?
Black Cat going after him. I don't give a shit what you say.
But also, like in the comics, he has like problems falling in love with like Gwen, MJ. I think maybe Betty Brant. He went on a date with Betty Brant. I know. But like he has tons of love problems. Yeah, he pulls like crazy in the comics, and like that's not a diss on Stan Lee's comments. I think what he's going for is great, but also like I don't understand how you're using what Stan Lee said as a criticism of this movie when he fumbles the ball in the end, and it's not easy for him to date her. He has problems with the entire time, and he like at the end of the movie he doesn't get her. Not like as if she's something to obtain. There are consequences. Yeah. There's but one thing I want to finish this real quick is that you're saying this about this, but MJ, for some reason, still loves Peter Parker throughout the entirety of the Raimi trilogy, despite anything that he does. Right? So, like, I don't know. That makes the consequences of those movies is kind of low in the romance, I think. Because they're so awful to each other in, like, all three of those movies. But if it's not supposed to be easy for him to get... in like the relationship like side, then why is there like why in the Raimi trilogy are you fine with him and MJ just being in love no matter all the terrible things that happen? Like, all right, you can go now, Andrew. That's mainly what I wanted to get.
I was gonna say, well, also too, in Spider-Man 2, he tries convincing her to cheat on her fiance with him, which is also awesome. But no, but like I think what Homecoming does well, and it's a key component, and I think it should be a key component in like most Spider-Man stories, is that I don't really like. I think the best Spider-Man stories have him like whatever he like have it so that like whatever he loses physically, like a person or a relationship or anything like that, he gains like in what's the word, to fill that void. He like gets like builds his character more and whatnot. So like at the end of this movie, for example, like he loses like his relationship with Liz, and whatnot and stuff like that goes awry. He loses several things throughout the movie, but at the end of it, he's like a better person. I think that's always what's so endearing about Spider-Man, is that no matter what like awful things happen to him, especially No Way Home where he loses everything, and what makes him so uplifting and like great as like a character and as like a hero is that no matter what happens there, he keeps on like being the better person. I think it's so crucial. I don't think that like these movies like this one in particular like abandons them. Because he is like, no matter all the shit that happens in this movie, he still comes out like a better person. He still keeps his head high and rolls with the punches, and that's what I find so endearing about him as a character.
Absolutely.
Like I don't think like that's why I love Spider-Man 1 the most out of that trilogy, because at the end of that movie, he has the choice to like make out with Mary Jane, but he's like, no.
Nah.
He's like, you're more important. He's like, but it's such a good character moment in that movie, and that's why that's like something that they do, like that kind of what I'm going for. Is what they do again, like No Way Home. Like I could try and get with you again, but you know what? Like things are fine this way. And, you know, that's like I'm kind of speaking too much. But that's what I'm mainly getting.
No, yeah, no, I get that. Now let's continue again, because 50 minutes into the stream, 5 minutes into the video.
If you ditched your friends, would there be no consequences? If you
If
indirectly
I had
led
to
to the
save
destruction
the
of a
world.
corner store,
If I had to save the world, and my friends told me, "Why'd you ditch me?"
Well, why did you leave me alone at the party? We can't be friends anymore, even though you were stopping an illegal aliens weapons trade.
And I am also capable of stopping that terror. Like, if it's different than me as a person who is just a 16-year-old trying to go stop. If I had superpowers and could actively stop this weapons deal, and my friends still got mad at me for leaving, then I'm just gonna.
Why would you leave me at the party?
Also, I think they addressed this because Ned was like, "Hey, why did you ditch me? What's going on?" But then he explains the situation to him, and they're like, "Oh, all right, this makes sense. I'm a good person." You know?
Yeah, that's because Ned isn't the worst ever.
Ned isn't James Franco, and that immediately puts him over Harry Osborn as a friend.
James Franco is funny,
but he's also a pedophile.
Yeah. I don't know. I need to look into that stuff with James Franco.
It's not good.
God, you just admitted to doing more stuff recently.
Yeah.
But I'll get into that.
Yeah.
He's a funny man.
And I can use the James Franco debate.
Consequences? Hopefully the answer is...
Of course there would be consequences, ya dick.
Because consequences are real. Consequences are what ground the spectacular nature of Spider-Man. Consequences are what make us believe in the man aspect of Spider-Man. All that being said, it is important to acknowledge that Peter does indeed face one real big consequence.
Oh, oops.
When he loses the suit by trying to do the right thing. Which leads me to the second big reason why Homecoming is a bad...
Alright, so one thing that we can agree on is that there definitely are consequences to his actions, and this doesn't feel like a fleshed out argument.
Yeah, also...
Like, while he has this opinion, the evidence that he used to support the opinion was weak, which makes it not a great argument. So you can continue to have this opinion, it's just not substantiated. Yeah.
The biggest two other consequences that I cannot believe he forgot, Peter's social life and there's a villain who knows who he is. Vulture knows who he is.
All because of his actions, yeah.
Yeah. All because of his actions, because that's how storytelling works. That's how good storytelling works. Cause and effect. Yeah, don't do the bad route of not doing that, like some movies.
Let's continue. Here's his next section.
The bad Spider-Man movie, The Suit.
Oh boy, here we go.
Remember that billionaire superhero that reluctantly takes on a high school protege? The high school protege is gifted with this really dope high-tech suit. The suit has a bunch of cool features, including a tracker in it, so that the paranoid billionaire hero can keep an eye on the new wisecracking hero. The protagonist's dilemma is to become his own hero instead of living up to the mantle of the original. Yeah, me too. Spider-Man is not...
So, one thing I just want to quickly say is, like, you can do this pretty much with any superhero movie of all time, ever. Like, I don't understand how this is a criticism. Remember the part where this one guy died, and this caused his son, or the person, his child figure?
And Uncle Ben.
Yeah.
You're ripping off Spider-Man and Captain America.
It's like... you can. I just feel like that's a weak argument. You know, that doesn't really work.
Shallow.
Yeah, whatever. Let's
it's me,
continue.
Flint Marco.
Remember? Peter, it's me, Flint Marco. Remember?
Peter, it's me. Remember when we fought and I turned to the sand and I'm done.
Peter, it's me, Flint Marko, from the film Spider-Man 3, remember?
Batman Beyond.
I'm played by
Spider-Man
Thomas
should
Hayden
not have an
Church.
AI that
They
he
made
can
me a
talk
Sandman because I'm too old.
2. Yes, I do understand the point of the AI is so that Peter can talk to someone to give away his expositional thoughts. Almost like the thought bubbles in comics, but there's so many better ways to give Peter introspective moments like this.
Can I tell Liz that I'm Spider-Man?
Who is Liz?
Who's Liz? she's she's the best. She's awesome. Yeah, I really want to tell her, but it's kind of weird, you know? I'm Spider-Man.
What's weird about that?
What if she's expecting someone like Tony Stark? I mean, imagine how disappointed she'd be when she sees me.
Well, if I were her, I wouldn't be disappointed at all.
Thanks, Karen.
Perhaps make him have a heart-to-heart moment with Ned, or how about giving him some form of interaction with Michelle?
So how is that an introspective moment when it's an interaction between two characters?
Yeah, no, it's not. Yeah, he's just saying take all the inner monologue and turn it into dialogue.
Yeah.
And then some people will be like, yeah, but he's talking to an AI. It's an AI. It doesn't have much of a personality to bounce off of. It's just sort of something to give some opinions, but it's still just an AI.
Yeah.
It's a good vehicle for him to just voice all this stuff too, because like I don't think like Peter would like not be. I don't want to say not like wouldn't be smart enough, but like I don't think he would just like vent all this to her and expect some sort of like expect them to like not really register it. You know, I think it's fitting for him to just vent and whatnot, and just for her to be like, "Yep, okay," like it's fine. It's basically the same thing as like a thought bubble. It's like it's cute. It's whatever.
Also, if he said this to
like,
MJ,
this girl.
If he was venting to MJ, what would MJ's response be? Like, stop talking to me. I don't like people.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
Why would you talk to me? Yeah, that's weird.
It just...
I don't know, guys. I'm not gonna tell some chick about another chick that I like. That seems like it would cause kind of a problem. It'd be a weird thing to do.
Oh, here we go. Now's the part where he criticizes the movie because they chose to have MJ be black.
Oh my goodness.
Instead of making her a one-note character, she knows what it's like to be an outcast. Maybe have Peter talk to Michelle about his feelings for Liz, completely unaware of the fact that she's clearly into him. That's Peter Parker-esque. There's so many better ways to give your protagonist an introspective moment without taking away what makes the protagonist the protagonist.
But Alex, he loses the suit.
Wait, how does
Get that? Can we pause real quick? Yeah, I don't get what he means by like it's taking away the making him not the protagonist.
Yeah,
Like, what are you talking about? And then also, like, okay, given this is like the Marvel Cinematic Universe, you should expect at this point that when at the end of the movie they name drop her as Mary Jane, then like you should expect for them to explore her in later movies, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of what the protocol is at this point.
Yeah.
So like,
I think she's
like I don't get why he's like.
Character.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like later on she gets way more like depth, but like here
Also,
like it's a fine introduction to her.
Yeah. I also don't think MJ has too much depth in the Raimi films. She typically results to just like screaming, and that's the character. Being helpless
Also,
because of her background, making her helpless and then feel sad, which is like tragic, but also it just makes her not competent and it makes it hard to watch.
It's just weird when freaking crap, what's his name? My brain stopped. HiTop. He's just like he's robbed him all of the protagonist of what he's supposed to be because he talks to an AI instead of other people. It's like what?
Yeah, it's weird. I don't get that.
Yeah, let's continue.
Spider-Man stuff.
Yeah, exactly. As soon as he loses the suit, this movie becomes a pretty good Spider-Man flick. The "if this be my destiny" moment is my favorite Spider-Man moment since, well, this. I also thoroughly enjoy the fact that Peter turns down Tony Stark's offer, realizes that he can do better, and needs to grow all on his own. That's all well and good, but he gets the suit back, and in Infinity War gets an even nicer suit.
Okay, so
wait, let's let it finish.
The next reason why Homecoming is
all right. There we go. Let's finish that.
So if you're going to have Peter Parker, you have to think like, okay, yeah. But the major thing that is important is he didn't ask for the suit back.
He didn't ask for it.
He was willing to keep going on as Spider-Man without the suit,
and that showed that he had really earned it.
Yeah, no, because
that's showing the growth of the character.
At the beginning would say no, because he cared only about glory. and that's not good. That's what the film's supposed to be about. It's like do heroism not for glory, but because it's the right to do. Yeah.
Yeah. Also,
And
how
you
else
know
is
what?
he
He
gonna
gets it.
breathe in space
And then if you're gonna
fight
have him
Thanos?
like actively say no to tools that will help him help more people, that's probably much more against Peter Parker than having him have a high-tech suit.
And then also going
But,
to the Infinity War thing, like, that does not invalidate him at all. That does not invalidate the choice he made at the end of the movie at all, because, like, he was trying to save, well, first of all, he was trying to help people, and that's his thing. Like, he's gotta save people, that's his whole bit. And when he, when he is on the spaceship, he's trying to save people, and Tony sends the suit to him. He doesn't, like, ask, I'm gonna lose oxygen, can I get a new suit, please? Like, Tony chooses to send the suit to him. And then he chooses to stay and keep the suit because he wants to, because as he explains, he can't be a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man if there's no neighborhood to protect, you know?
Also, he would have died if he didn't take that suit, and he didn't ask for that suit, and
he didn't
it was
ask for it.
forced upon him, technically.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And what's he gonna do?
While he's in space and be like, take this suit off of me. I do not need it. I am Spider-Man.
I am built different. This does not fit my character in the comics. Also, one thing.
I still think that Iron.
Well,
I think that Iron Spider suit's ugly, but it does not invalidate anything you guys are talking about. Yeah. I haven't bet against that suit just because I don't like how it looks.
No, that's fair. I got a bit tired of that suit too. But I also wanted to say that what was it? I completely forgot what I wanted to say. Someone else go. Do we have things to say about this?
We have to. I mean, we have to go an hour into the stream.
Oh, that's true. Shit.
Spider-Man movie, the Avengers, and the entire MCU.
Here we go.
Now, having Spider-Man be in the MCU was a web dream of mine, literally. So when he showed up in Civil War, I got goose pimples.
Goose pimples? Great. Look. Each one. A memory.
I don't understand the reference.
Why his introduction is so great, so go watch that, or don't. But what seemed like a blessing at first now seems like a curse. I want you to remember the days where these superhero flicks weren't all connected, where a movie was just a movie. Sam Raimi's Spider-Man is just a movie about Spider-Man. No sequel setup, no character pop-ins, no timeline continuity. It's just a...
No, there is definitely sequel setup with the Raimi films. Like, that's the whole bit.
That, but I think, as I've said before, to people who I've talked about this with, I think Homecoming's best aspect is it connected to the MCU. I love how connected it is. I think it's the best MCU movie in terms of being connected.
Because the film results completely from consequences of other MCU films. Cool. Andrew, you can go now.
But also, I was gonna say that the way they handle the interconnectivity with the MCU is a lot better than I think other stuff, where like they'll just be like, "Oh, who are you, Doctor Strange from Marvel?" Like here, it's like
no, I don't really like that. Or the Ant-Man line where they're like, "The Avengers, they're dropping built cities from the sky. I'm Hank Pym and also Michael Douglas."
Yeah. I like Hank Pym. Shut up.
No, but it's like in this movie they have little things and they have overt things, both of which make sense. Like there's Howard Stark is on the mural, and Banner's on the picture, and then you have stuff like Captain America. He would totally be in high school stupid videos.
But then also Vulture's background, like having Vulture's background be that it is great, because that gives it like more. That gives the actions of the Avengers more consequences. You know, consequences. You love those, HiTop. But it also gives him more depth as a character than just being like, I'm an old bird person, but I'm old and I've got a long nose, and that's you know. Yeah. I thought this was a more interesting take. Also, I did want to say right now, hey Dinosaur, thanks for the 100 bits. Yes, we're deconstructing 3 reviews. I'm not sure how we're gonna get through that in this one. We might have to cap it at this one. But
yeah, I was gonna say too that like the way that it like connects stuff with the MCU is in a way to where it's not like pointing its finger at the screen and being like, look, it's Captain America, and then like soying at you. It feels natural, because at this point everyone's lived with these characters and they just don't really care like most stupid audience members would. So like, it's like, oh, okay, here's a video. Like, it's cool. I think that it also lends itself well where like you don't need to really watch every other MCU film to watch it. And it's kind of like an issue with Far From Home because if you watch Homecoming and then Far From Home, you're like, oh shit, I should have seen fucking every movie between these two. But you know what I mean? Like that's like Homecoming's biggest strength is how how connected it is to the MCU, but also how like disconnected it is, where you can watch it standalone and still like it.
I like that it was low stakes. I'm upset that modern Marvel movies seem to not they're afraid of low stakes, like in Shang-Chi. I don't know if I can spoil. Can I spoil Shang-Chi?
Sure, you can spoil Shang-Chi if you haven't seen Shang-Chi. Then
I'm not gonna spoil it. I'm just gonna say that at the end the stakes are like super high, even though I think it would have been fine if they didn't. They could have had like a movie that's the state of China or something.
They set up like a really strong emotional conflict with like the villain and the hero, and then they have to throw in the stuff at the end that just made me like completely uninvested. Of like, why are we doing this?
That's
fair.
I still really liked Shang-Chi a ton. But I also do think that Shang-Chi was kind of victim to like the MCU thing where it's like, oh look, it's Abomination, soy jack Marvel fans, soy jack at it. Oh, you know.
Abomination was more in that movie because he's an interesting.
He was better in that movie, but it was still like kind of a weird thing where it's like, why is Abomination here fighting Wong? That's just sort of.
The best part about Shang-Chi, though, is that he introduced white people to Tony Leung, and he's like one of the best like Asian actors. He's incredible.
Yeah.
He's in so much good shit.
Wait, who's that guy?
That's
Wenwu.
Wenwu. Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, he's fucking incredible. Yeah.
Wenwu is Mandarin.
Yeah.
Trevor Slattery?
No.
Isn't that Ben Kingsley?
No. What the Mandarin?
No.
The original Mandarin.
Right, his dad.
Wenwu. Yeah.
I'm actually gonna kill you, Zinch.
I saw that movie a week ago.
I like that movie.
Oh.
I think it's pretty good. All right, let's continue. For gore.
Yeah. It's the film. Now, I don't have a problem with any of those things. I like Easter eggs. I like it all if those things don't detract from the film at hand.
I also remember when I couldn't concentrate on the movie because there was an Ultron head in a van. Let's continue.
I started to come all over my pants because I saw Ultron again.
I started punching my little wall and crying and peeing in my pants because there was an Ultron head. It's like, of course that's gonna be what these guys are scavenging. It's damage control. They're messing with the damage control shows up when the Avengers have a fight. Of course there is going to be Avengers related things in a damage control truck, and of course they're going to be after it because they don't like damage control. So,
It's also fun too because like he just shrugs it off because like he doesn't no one cares, which is also good. If he just soy jacked at it, like it's Ultron.
He's like, Ultron from the hit film Avengers: Age of Ultron, released in 2015.
Yeah.
No, no.
Like that would have been an issue, but he just doesn't give a shit, which is fun.
Yeah.
Like Sony was so keen on being able to use Iron Man and the rest of the Avengers that every single goddamn story beat, scene, and character moment involves a reference to the greater MCU. We have an opening sequence and a villain motivation that directly ties into the Avengers and more specifically Iron Man. A second opening sequence that recaps the last big Marvel movie and contains the backsides of pretty much all the Avengers. We have multiple cameos from Captain America, a bank heist where the criminals are wearing Avengers masks, references to Black Widow, Thor, and the rest of the team. All of Peter's internal conflicts involve Iron Man and wanting to be an Avenger. Hell, Holland's 3 big emotional moments revolve around trying too hard to be like Iron Man and realizing.
Wait, what? How does the one on the top have anything to do with being Iron Man?
The one on the top was literally him like figuring out that he needs to be Spider-Man and he needs to be the best he can. But also I do want to talk about how it makes complete sense for the movie to reference things that have happened to Spider-Man, like when he was in Civil War. And it makes sense that the big action sequences have consequences on people when big rich people decide to take over the damage control, when people are just trying to do the best they can to the whole Vulture origin, that's good. I think that's good, but also
I like that. And also it's good because there's Tony Stark and he's trying to help out because he caused part of this, and so he's wanting to help people with it, but he doesn't realize what he's doing is also causing problems. And it's keeps Iron Man makes him look bad in the light of some, even though it doesn't make you think, oh, Iron Man's the bad guy for doing this, because you can tell where he's coming from. He's trying to help out.
Yeah, and it also makes sense that there would be references to the most famous people in the world when it's a high school, and all to think of, like, it'd be ridiculous if you went into a real high school and like, people didn't make references to, like, I don't know, Travis Scott or someone famous like that, or the President Joey Biden, you know?
Joe Biden.
Joe Biden. The reason people make references to, like, the most famous people is because it's common ground, and then it would make sense that they get the masks of the Avengers, because probably in mass supply. That's what the point of the mask is.
If people can walk around, like, if people can sell, like, Trump or, like Clinton masks or whatever, and people don't really care, I don't think, like,
about that.
Yeah, I'm not surprised Avengers masks would exist. I don't really care that they do, because they don't, like, soy Wojak at him, like,
Thor! Like, no.
Yeah.
Of course, also wow. Peter's whole thing is, like, he's a big nerd, so of course he's gonna be like, I am Thor, son of Odin, and do funny, wacky nerd things when he's in the suit.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
it's
if
like
I
how
know
we do
any
impressions
funny,
of people.
nerds who do funny things in the suits,
Like,
i.e. Jackson, then I can tell you he definitely.
Yeah, that's true. Like, I'm a funny, wacky nerd who puts on silly sunglasses and says, hello, penis, and it's a funny joke to me. Zinj is a funny man who says Geronimo when he jumps into a lake off of a boat because of Doctor Who.
I
feel like you're the type of guy to cannonball, and either you're gonna shout cannonball or alley oop.
No, he says Geronimo, which is a reference to Doctor Who. The point is, people do things that are references to famous things because that's how world building works.
Peter Capaldi's face on it.
Zinj, I bet when you dive off the diving board, I bet you squat and you hold your hands up and you do like the cartoony like jump into the pool.
No, I plug my nose. I plug my nose before I jump in.
Geronimo! But yeah.
That's so awesome.
I don't like how he's making the argument that he's like a cool popular kid who doesn't do anything, like who like doesn't have any problems, but at the same time he nerds out over Thor, so that means that it's bad. You know?
I thought it was funny. I think he used one of those hammers that you use to break open like shellfish when you're cooking those at home.
Yeah. Or it was a meat tenderizer. It was one of those two.
Oh yeah, one thing I forgot to mention. I wanted to mention. This doesn't have to do with the video. This just has to do with, like, he's talking about the Stanley point. Very epic Stanley, and that Stanley point is exactly why people who get mad and call Miles Morales not Spider-Man are fucking stupid.
Yeah. No, that's true. All right, let's continue.
I think he needs to be himself.
I prefer Iron Man Jr.
That's a joke.
That's a joke.
Now remember, guys,
that's a
this
joke.
is all my opinion, but I think the reliance on the Marvel brand definitely makes the movie seem less like a film and more like an issue of a comic book. People often say that's what makes it.
So wait, which is it? Is it too much not like the comic books, or is it too much like a comic book?
Okay, one thing I was gonna say is like they say it's a reliance, but I don't think it is, because like they're perfectly capable of making movies without this. But it's not a reliance; it's just working within what you have.
I also want to equivalate this to like other things of world building that I think are cool. Like I enjoy the Russell T Davies era of Doctor Who because there's a lot of connection of like showing a lot of the same species over and over again, and I think that's cool. But there's also like references to prior events that show there's references to things that happened before, and there's shown consequences of those things that happened before. And with Star Wars prequels, as bad as they are, I think the world building was still pretty much there, which is why I prefer them over one of the reasons I prefer them over the sequels, in addition to like just the writing of plot being a bit better. But I like the world building so much more because you get to see like if you look in the backgrounds, there's like early models of certain ships you see in the original trilogy. You see a lot of the alien species that were seen before, and so like I like that kind of world building because it like makes the whole universe feel more cohesive, and when it's done in all of these things, I think that's really solid, you know. And I just don't.
Well, I also think, yeah.
It's not necessarily a reliance. It's more of a things have consequences, and we're recognizing them. Who would have thought HiTop Films?
I also think that Star Wars as a whole is way more.
You go first.
Other than if we're talking about like things being reliant on other things, I think Star Wars is way worse at that, because then you have like either whether you like it or hate it, but like Mandalorian will have like it's Luke, and then you sway Wojak at the screen.
He has a jetpack.
Yeah.
I like when he set down his jetpack so he couldn't do a plot.
I like when he so he couldn't do something that would be smart. I like when he had to take off his mask at a machine that was only there to prove that you have a human face or whatever.
Oh no, that part! I keep forgetting about all of these.
No, but like I think it's like I think more of like Rogue One or whatever, where like a lot of the stuff in that film that's like very fan service like didn't need to be in it, and like unlike Marvel stuff where it's like, oh, you're actually doing something okay with it, like No Way Home is a big example where it's like you're using nerd shit, but like it's actually like really cool how you're using it. Whereas I think most Star Wars stuff is like, no guys, don't worry, we're not political. You like us,
guys. We're not
really
political.
Organic, nice way.
Yeah. So
the woman is the Matrite. Yeah.
Let's continue. I completely forgot what he was talking about, but I think it was something about.
I don't know.
Yeah. It's something about crying about how the MCU is the thing. Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
The sense of connectedness. No. What makes the MCU successful is that it has a bunch of really heartfelt, well-made movies with characters we know and give a shit about. The Easter eggs, references, setup, and all that other shit is just the icing on a well-cooked cake. But in Homecoming's case, if the cake itself isn't that well baked, the whole thing suffers. I was overjoyed when.
Okay, wait. So if he's arguing that the Homecoming cake, so he's saying that the Easter eggs are just icing. So how are they a big problem with the movie?
That's true. That's fair. Well, I think he's also saying because like Vulture's origin being a bad thing, but like it's
not. He doesn't explain why it's bad.
Like you can not like it, it's fine, but yeah, like it's still. I think it's a cool thing that adds depth to it.
What does that take away? Like, how does that make it not good for Spider-Man?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
if I'm also gonna
Spider-Man 1, he has nothing to do with Doc or Green Goblin's origin.
Mm-hmm.
Like Peter Parker does nothing in relation to that.
Yeah, that's true.
And even then, that's okay too, because they're meant to like parallel each other, so there's a connection there. Like that's fine with like that.
Yeah.
But also, I think that like, it's like I don't know how to describe it, but like, I'm gonna compare Vulture to Mysterio a bit, because they both have like this sort of. Like,
I love Mysterio.
Influencing their origins, sort of. I know, I love him too, outside of like his reason. But like, I think. Bye. Hope you take care. Dude.
Like, no, she said hi. Come on.
Like, oh, hi, I thought she said bye. I'm stupid. Anyways. But like, with like, I don't see how it takes away from Vulture's character, because Vulture on his own is still like a really scary presence, like a very formidable opponent who's like smart and whatever. And whereas I think that Mysterio suffers from that origin he has, because I don't think it really does anything for him. I think it's just more like, okay. You know, like I still like that character, like the presence that they have, because they're really fun to watch. But I don't think that the origin just makes him like, really, like you could have just not like given him that. I don't think I would have felt anything. You know.
I mean, I also do think that
like it builds from it.
I do think that
they make something crazy. Yeah.
I do think the binarily augmented retro framing or whatever it was, barf or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that was. I think that makes the most sense to be Mysterio's tech in the MCU. After what we've seen it can do, and showing it from that, like I think that makes the most sense. But I still get where you're getting.
I would be fine if they just had him like, oh, I decided to use this tech. I'm a selfish asshole, instead of like Tony Stark said it was crazy and called it barf. Like I don't need that. Like, I don't need that.
Tony Stark was able to build it
in a cave with a box of scraps. Grantimus, yeah, actually this shot does go hard. Feel free to screenshot.
Yeah,
it's a pretty good shot.
CG.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
Let's see what happened next.
Dude, Why does Black Panther look so funny in this shot? To me? I don't know why.
He's stanced up, dude.
Of the Black Panther things that I find funny,
dude,
i.e. the straw rooftops on the skyscrapers in Wakanda, this is one of the funnier things.
Rip Chadwick.
I just wanted to bring up the straw rooftops in Wakanda as a joke, but I didn't know how.
When I saw Civil War, Spider-Man was finally interacting with Iron Man, Captain America, even freaking Bucky. That's awesome. That's so damn cool. I left Civil War so excited about the new Spider-Man. I wanted to know more about him. I was excited to get the good Spider-Man movie again. A movie that focused on Peter, his motivation, Uncle Ben. Maybe they would even have a screen-accurate Mary Jane, a character we haven't seen in 10 years. An MJ who had an abusive home life and made herself the party girl to avoid feeling alone. Maybe they would even do the face a tiger moment. Maybe they would explore Peter wanting to be a photographer. Maybe he would give his money by posting on the Daily Mail YouTube. Explaining himself as Spider-Man and making 2 cents per video. Would this younger Aunt May not like the idea of Peter trying to support her? How does Ben's death affect her? I had so many questions after.
It's clear that it affects her because she's a bit more closed off, and Peter makes it clear.
Yeah.
He says that it's very subtle in this movie, but because he didn't talk about how the old man got shot, it's clear HiTop doesn't seem to like that.
And the fact that MJ wasn't like hot and redhead and said "face it, tiger, you jackpot," that's like not good.
Because she didn't say the funny thing from the other thing. Yeah.
It just sounds like,
I
oh, these are
understand
the
how
things
he's
I know
missing
from the
core part,
comics.
which is responsibility, but he's glad that he doesn't have all the superficial, is what I'm getting.
No.
Yeah. So I'm cringing really hard at that point because it just seems so like nerd shit.
When MJ wasn't white, I got angry.
Yeah. I'm legit like licking a salt rock right now because I'd rather do that.
No. Okay, that's fine. I'm ridiculing his argument. I'm more joking, and I don't think that's his serious take. But I do think his serious take might be a bit off because like.
I think it's still
personally, I think it's good for them to do different things with characters from comics after you've done the same thing for years in movies.
2 years.
2 years.
No, sorry.
Three movies. Three movies,
Two
and
movie
then
franchises.
Yeah, MJ wasn't in TASM, but
she was going to be. I think they have
probably in TASM 3. Oh yeah, they cast
she was gonna be in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shailene Woodley.
After watching,
but I don't know. I just think it's so silly.
Yeah. I didn't say that out loud, right?
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, no, you didn't.
Yeah, you didn't. You didn't say that live. That's fine.
Back to a smaller, more personal story involving Peter Parker, a Spider-Man movie that didn't need to set up a universe or have a Batman Begins-esque tone. A Spider-Man movie that was the clear vision of one director and not a studio. But Homecoming doesn't focus on any of that. It doesn't really focus on anything that makes a Spider-Man film. The movie doesn't focus nearly enough on the human element of Spider-Man. The film's director, John Watts, described Homecoming as mainly a John Hughes high school movie. Just because you reference Ferris Bueller doesn't make you Ferris Bueller. John Hughes movies focus on character, establishing character.
Wait, yeah, what's happening with the audio?
I don't know.
Characters.
Thank you, Andrew.
I don't know either.
Involved with being in high school.
No
that
problem.
way to approach a Spider-Man movie on paper is excellent. I wanted the perks of being a wall crawler, but I ended up getting 13 reasons why Spider-Man Homecoming is not a good Spider-Man movie.
Funny!
Was that a final good line?
You know what we call that? A web slinging ass kicking.
As always, guys, you can support us on Patreon, patreon.com.
Oh,
nope, don't plug that. Don't plug that.
Don't give him any money.
I feel really bad now because he's actually kind of hot. I don't know if my argument makes any sense. I think I was wrong.
He's pretty hot.
No,
should we end it at that video, or should we do Far From Home?
I don't think we're gonna survive.
I think so.
What if we did Far From Home?
Yeah.
I don't think we'll survive.
We can do Far From Home a different day. How about that?
Yeah.
We could do like a 3-part saga, and then on YouTube you can release the whole thing as one edited masterpiece.
Yo, true.
By hiring someone else to do it for you. And then HiTop will,
and then not paying them well.
Yeah, maybe actually, yeah. If we upload it like do another one, like we do these like one video a day, then like HiTop will have enough time to make a response stream in response like the day between the
Just
No,
pull a
he
Star
probably
Wars.
doesn't.
Just
Probably
pull a
gets-
Star Wars theory and have his audience bomb my comment section.
That would
Yeah, let's
happen.
actually do that. You'll
Don't
get more
criticize bigger
traction though.
YouTubers.
You'll get
That shit happens all the time. But
Fucking
don't worry,
Star
you
Wars
can't.
theory.
Only you can see the dislikes, so it's better for your mental
Yeah.
health.
That's
true.
It's so much better for your mental health when you see the dislike count anyway. What?
That's actually
so
really
stupid.
silly
It's
too
only,
because
they
I can't even
only did it for one reason.
Mm-hmm.
It's for
because they didn't want to
corporations
get
to
shit
It's
on.
for companies getting
YouTube
shit
on.
on. Yeah.
Also, like I still can't even see the dislikes on my suites or whatever. So I can't tell if people hate the Doc Ock suite. How am I gonna
feel
tell?
like people just haven't.
How are we
am I
gonna
tell
tell?
what content to me? Yeah, how am I gonna tell outside of like the fact they don't give a shit? I'll just upload what I want. But you know, I just think it's silly that they took it out, like off. And now I've looked at the comments. But the comments are usually like really filtered. So it'll usually be like the that like channel's audience instead of like people who actually like want to like discourse and are like retaliation to the thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No.
It's
Yeah.
silly.
So
Anyways,
basically,
how hot HiTop was.
yeah.
Kind of odd.
I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
And I think he is, but I want to end the stream on a better note though, Zinj. I'm gonna ask you a question, Zinj.
Mm-hmm.
Book of Boba Fett, thumbs up or thumb down?
It's mid. I don't know.
Mid.
It's okay. I guess.
But the main title theme.
What is playing? What is this?
Wait, what?
What is happening? What is going
What is
on?
happening to
What
watch
is happening?
together? What is
Why is there Among Us? Oh my god. I hate you. I hate you. Nope.
No, he copyrighted. I hold.
Oh my
They
god.
They actually just
Oh my
played,
god.
Like,
Why? Why?
To it.
All right, everyone get angry at. So basically, oh, I took my thing off the watch together. Let me put it on the browser because I was gonna plug Andrew's channel. So I took it off the watch
cool.
together. So sorry about that. Zinj put Among Us in the fucking watch together link. Here's Andrew's channel. Andrew has been talking. Subscribe to Andrew. He's been dropping some sick content, dude. Look at all those views. Look at all those views. 159K views in 12 days.
I need. What's it 12
That's
days?
insane.
Holy shit,
12 days.
I need to edit the browser videos to not be Davy Jones. 'Cause I remember I need to change it to a more popular suite.
Yeah.
I
Also,
follow
it's really
the suite
funny.
listening to that Spider-Man suite. I hope you know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the main
Yolanda's
43
theme is
minute
so
one?
good.
No, the tragedy one.
The tragedy.
Okay, the
one's
43
great.
minute one didn't get as much traction as I hoped it.
I love the 40-minute one. I listen to that constantly. If you guys want
don't
to
really
subscribe
mind.
to Azkona on YouTube, if you guys like suites of existing scores in movies, these suites also include things that aren't necessarily on the soundtrack sometimes. So
It's
go for
recording
that.
sessions.
Recording sessions.
Sometimes if I'm really, what I did for some suites is because Junkie XL, if I do suites of his themes, I'll go to his channel because usually like we'll upload these videos where he breaks down themes and will include original new content that isn't on the soundtrack, so I'll include that. It just all depends. I wanted to, what was I gonna say? Also, I don't do like what most other people do where they upload themes. I don't want to shit on other people, but it's
He's
like
not
I'll
like
upload
other
the,
girls.
like the
He's not
chunks-
like other girls.
Yeah, so I try and edit it all together to be like a seamless sort of single experience instead of just like a bunch of like, or people will cut it together and it won't like flow well.
Yeah.
You know? I try my best to make it sound like one song so you're getting the most of that out of that character or like thing's journey. So I'm telling the story musically and I think that's really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I have
that's
a lot planned. I think Zinj, you're gonna be happy too, because in January my first suite series is gonna be for Halo Infinite. And then my first suite I want to release in January is going to be the Sodaker suite from Dune, which I'm excited about because it's Mongolian throat singing. Also, it's really awesome for the. I don't want to keep on shilling, but the tragedy suite is like, a lot of the comments are really nice.
Oh yeah.
Because just people talking about their own grievances and like their own loss and shit, and actually is really. It's good that people can open up like that. Like this one dude who said his karate teacher died, and now he like hates China and wants to get revenge on them.
Oh my god.
I'm not even joking, but yeah, it's really awesome.
Okay. All right.
Please leave
yeah.
more comments about how you want to take revenge on the other nations.
Subscribe to Andrew if you're interested. Zinj, do you have anything you want to plug?
My dick in his ass. Let's go. Let's go. I'm joking.
That was pretty funny.
I only say that.
Zinj, are you
only saying
muted?
that because I we
No,
love
I'm not
each
muted.
other.
Oh, I thought you couldn't hear the. Can you hear the watch together thing?
Oh, I clicked off the watch together. So.
Click on it.
No, I X'd out of it. I X'd out of the tab. It's no longer there.
Oh, okay, fine. No, I don't have anything to say. I'm on the Star Wars dude. That's where.
That's true. Star Wars dude Discord. I think I've linked it somewhere in my YouTube
you should
channel.
link it again.
Yeah, I'll put up a thing.
We're doing big changes, big things over there.
Thanks to everyone who joined the stream. This was fun doing it again. It's been a while. We'll probably do another stream talking about his Far From Home video. I have even more problems with that because that's like one of my favorite Spider-Man movies. So
we'll watch Far From Home together.
We'll do the Far From Home thing.
Not on stream. I mean, you and me. You know.
I'm rocking with that. Okay. Feel free to leave a follow on my Twitch channel. If you're watching the YouTube upload of this, my Twitch channel is twitch.tv/MrIntercourse. It's in the description. Also, feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I think it is linked in my Twitch description if you're watching this on Twitch. I just put some re-uploads on there, and it's nice to like boost that because it sometimes boosts my audience. Yeah. Great. I think we're gonna end the stream here. Thanks everyone who showed up.
That's so awesome. I'm now realizing them because I'm watching it.
My glasses, dude. They're dripping. Oh my god, they're so good.
Would do that.
Hello, penis. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Hello, penis, and he puts more monocles on the closer he looks at Tom Holland's wee pic that he leaked online.
Oh yeah, I've definitely not seen that. All right.
I definitely have.
Oh no, now I have to tell Toxic a joke. God damn it. So here's one from my friend Griffin. This joke is so a frog and a cow walk into a bar. And the frog says, "I'll have a beer, please." And the bartender's like, "Sure, and what will the cow have?" And then the frog says, "That's not a cow, that's my wife." Yeah, that's the joke. It's pretty good.
That's shit.
Yeah, the Cars blanket is back. I found it after losing it. The Sprite cranberry is still on there. I put new things up here. Wait, let me show.
Wait, where was the
Let me show the stream. I lost it. It was like under some clothes or something like that.
Oh, it wasn't in someone's car?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So boom. I like the new set. There's a bit of garbage down there. Don't look at that. Yeah, I'm gonna stream more soon. Okay. Bye, chat.